What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna talk a little DAZN today and the numbers for Daniel Jacobs and Canelo Alvarez, and hope my dog doesn't knock over this tripod. All right. Okay, man, so 600,000 concurrent streams, 1.2 million concurrent streams worldwide. What does that mean for DAZN? I'm gonna let you know my opinion, and this is my opinion. Before I do though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, excuse me, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. We do our live streams, and also got a question at the end I'm gonna address for a patron at the end of the video. All right, so Keith Idec released a report. I also saw something on Black Fight Fan TV's channel yesterday. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone while I'm in the midst of doing this video. And which said, phone calls. DAZN, which launched in the US on September 22nd, has aggressively signed talent as it builds its brand in the world's biggest boxing market. I agree with that. The US is the world's biggest boxing market. Alvarez agreed to an 11-year fight deal. 11 fight, 5-year contract with blah, blah, blah. And then it talks about, well, actually before that it said that a source familiar with DAZN's US business indicated, however, that the Alvarez-Jacob bout was watched via in excess of 600,000 concurrent streams in the United States. The headline of this reads that Canelo Jacobs fight was watched by 1.2 million worldwide. Okay, but we're talking about the US market. All right, so first question, is that successful for DAZN, right? I saw something that Black Fight Fan TV put up on his in his community tab, which was I think it might have been a tweet from Mike Coppinger saying that, that was a success for DAZN. My answer to that is that really depends on what the goals DAZN had walking into that fight were. We know that DAZN by the end of the year said that they wanted to have 1.5 million subscribers, US subscribers, by the end of this year. In this article, which I disagree with, there's something I disagree in this article about, because he said that the 600,000 concurrent streams in the US would indicate that DAZN has at least 600,000 subscribers in the United States who signed up for at least 1 month. Okay, so the goal is 1.5 million subscribers. You get 600,000 concurrent views. Now notice the difference between those two words: subscribers and concurrent views. So the question is, what's the difference between a subscriber and a concurrent view? How do concurrent views relate to the number of subscribers that you have? And Keith Idec said that the data would indicate that they have at least 600,000. I don't think that that's true, because I joined DAZN I became a member of DAZN for the Regis Prograis, before the Regis Prograis fight, and I read what I was capable of doing. I can do at least 2 concurrent streams on my account. At least 2. I think I can do 3, but I know for sure I can do 2. So that means as one subscriber, I can stream that fight on 2 different devices, and I did so. I have a password just like I have my Netflix password, and I pay for my Netflix password. My father only wants to watch Netflix every once in a while, so I'll say, hey dad, here, you can sign into my account and you can watch it at your house. So that's 1 subscriber that can view twice. I did the same thing with my father with DAZN. I said, hey, you wonder why this Canelo Alvarez Daniel Jacobs fight's coming on? I said, here dad, here's my password. Just download the app from the App Store onto your phone, and he and I both watched. We are 2 people, right? That's 2 views on 1 subscriber. So does it necessarily follow that they have at least 600,000 subscribers because they had 600,000 concurrent views or simultaneous views? It does, or streams. It does not. It means that they have at least, if you are allowed 2, that means they have at least 300,000. At least 300,000. Now, if you can get 3 streams, right? That means you have at least 200,000, right? Because if you get 2, you divide it in half. If you divide it by 3, you get 200. So it's 200,000 if they get 3, at the minimum of 200,000. If you can get 3 concurrent streams for the same subscriber, and 300,000 if you can get 2 concurrent streams off the same subscriber. Now, is it realistic to say that everybody that was subscribed or every concurrent stream came from an individual subscriber? No, it's not. That's not, and I know that's not true because I am a subscriber and I let somebody else watch my fight on my stream, on one of my devices. Now, is it true that, is it realistic to believe that everybody that had a subscriber, that had a subscription to the Zone, let somebody use their account? No, and that's not realistic either. But you can guesstimate, estimate, and we'll just cut it in half and say that that means they probably have at least 400,000. You know, I would say that 600,000 concurrent streams could tell me that there's 400,000 current subscribers to the Zone in the United States. So if their goal is to get to 1.5 million before the end of 2019, and you have 400,000 now, or even if you have the 600,000, because you say, you know, some people that might have been subscribed didn't stream it, but they're subscribed, they just didn't stream it, they weren't available for one reason or another. That is still less than halfway, a third of the way. It's about a third of the way to a little over a third of the way to their goal that they need to make by the end of the year. Now, if you have another Canelo Alvarez fight, how many people that actually stream now are going to watch the next fight? You know, we don't know, but it seems to me as if they're a good ways off from their goal. Now, that's just looking at it from the viewpoint of the concurrent streams. We can also look at it from the viewpoint of the money that they invested. Now, personally, I'm going to use, I take the same viewpoint that I took for the PBC. People were talking a lot about how the PBC was losing money when they first started off, and that, you know, they were paying all this money to fighters. They were paying for all the they were paying for the TV time, you know, television time to get, you know, to get these fighters on free TV. And they were saying, oh man, you're just bleeding money, you're bleeding money, you're bleeding money. But if it's an investment for them and they know that they're going to, like, you consider it like seed money for the PBC, eventually they got to the point where they are now, where they actually do have Fox, one of the biggest networks in the world, paying for their fights, and advertisers paying for their fights, where now more than likely they're turning a profit. Same thing for the other network that they have is Showtime, where Showtime is paying licensing fees for the fight. So now that money, that seed money that was originally put in by that investment banking firm into the PBC, potentially, of course, not knowing what they're not having their books or anything like that, now that is turning a profit, and they're increasing the value of the PBC, and it might get to the point where the PBC becomes valuable enough to where they recouped their initial investment, right? So that is how you can have investment dollars put into something to build a platform, and then eventually, once it reaches a certain threshold, right, now it's worth more than you invested, and you start making the money like that. So that could very well be the case with the Zone, but most likely would have to be the case with the Zone, because the Zone spent, if you say 600,000 people all came in for $20, right? What is that? 6 times 10 is 600,000 is 10 is 6, it's $12 million, right? So it's like $12 million. So if they made $12 million but they paid out $43 million in purses. That's like $31 million that they were in the hole just on the purchase, off the purses. Not talking about the production, the cost of production, the cost of, you know, all their employees that they had to do to actually, you know, to stream it, right? The money that they had to pay if they did any type of marketing and advertising. So more than likely they lost. Either you can consider they lost a lot of money or they invested a lot of money in order to get that kicked off. So, you know, you can look at that either way, but you know, this is not a scenario that I see where it is like they've shown that they have some major footprint in the United States. I don't believe that's the case. If you look at the viewership, if you look at the number of eyes that were on that fight worldwide, say 1.2 million eyes saw that worldwide. That's less than what is going to be seen, Deontay Wilder is going to be seen on in the US on Showtime, right? Now that could be a function of the amount of people that actually have access to the zone. Or you could look at it as a, you know, as indication of how, you know, significant the fight was. But when you have Jared Hurd, and I did a video about this before. Jared Hurd and J-Rock are gonna have maybe 500,000-600,000 more eyes on that fight than were in the United States than were on the Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs worldwide. So as far as what that means for the sport of boxing, right? And growing the sport of boxing, I don't know how good that was for the zone, because that is basically it. By putting that fight with Daniel Jacobs and Canelo on the zone, it actually limited the amount of people to fight that boxing fans that were exposed to boxing in that fight. And I thought it was a good fight. Some people don't agree. I thought it was a really good fight, where you're going to get a lot more exposure for the sport of boxing on Fox. Right, and on Showtime. So anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Oh, sorry, it's a question for the Patreon. He asked, you know, can you do a one-time payment for Patreon? And they don't allow that. But if you want to do something, if you want to do something else, I can always send you private links to what I upload, because I upload my videos to one site and then I link them into Patreon, which allows me, if somebody really wants to see a video that's a long time subscriber, then, you know, I'll send you the link and you can watch that link for yourself and kind of go around the Patreon side. But I don't like to do that a lot because, you know, the purpose is to grow the Patreon for the channel. There's a lot of things we want to do with that. And, you know, also the other cats are doing this on a month-to-month basis. And that's just the way Patreon works, you know. It's just how that's their policy. So thank you very much. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.